Hello, everybody. Coming to you right now. I want to show you something. I'm going to read these scriptures, Ecclesiastes, and it's about, the topic is about generations. Why generations fight one another. We should encourage one another, especially times like this. And I got a Bible verse. I got a couple of verses, dealing with that situation. The words of the teacher is Ecclesiastes 1, chapter 1, verse 1, all the way to 11. And it say, the words of the teacher, son of David, king of Jerusalem, meaningless, said the teacher. Utterly meaningless. Everything is meaningless. What does a man gain from all his labor at which he toils under the sun? Generation comes, generation goes, but the earth remains. The sun rises and the sun sets, and hurries back to where it rises. The wind blows to the north and turns to the north. Blows to the south and turns to the north. Round and round it goes, every returning on its course. Streams flow in the sea, yet the sea is never full. To place the streams come from, and there they return again. All things are rarely some, more than one can say. The eye never has enough of saying, nor the ear its fill of hearing. What has been will be again. What has been done will be done again. There's only new under the sun. Is there anything which one can say, look, is something new? It was here already long ago. It was here before our time. There is no remnants of men of old, and even those who are yet to come will not be remembered for those who follow. Yeah, it's about generations, that's how it comes, and in the title it say everything is meaningless, but the word stays the same. Doesn't matter what's going on. That's basically what it is. And I was just talking about some generation things and what this generation is missing. It's missing a lot of our guidance right now, because we jealous of one another from the old and the new. It's just like this LeBron and Michael thing going down, who's the best of all time. And they say LeBron, some say Jordan. But if you look at it, both of them, LeBron is the best in this time, and Jordan was best in his time. You can't say that because it's not an agreement to go by. You can't. That's no debate of what's going on. Because if you look at it right now, LeBron wouldn't make it in the era of Jordan. I don't know if Jordan would have made it in this era, but you gotta look at what's going on. And bringing two generations together, it's hard to compare for one another. You have to come together as one. You gotta welcome the next generation in, and that's what a lot of us is missing out, especially this one right here. I have everybody. Majority of the generation have kids of mine have kids. I ain't gonna say all, but majority of my generation have kids, one or more. And that's a good thing and it's a bad thing. Some was out of wedlock, some was from marriage, but we have to look at that situation. A lot of us was born in dysfunctional families, and that's got a lot to do with it. And because of the control of the government, we have to go through that. We don't understand why, and a lot of us, we got tolerated, and some of us is breaking these things off of our life, so we won't have to keep going through the chain reaction of generation after generation. Because if you look at the phone, the internet, what split us apart from my generation to this generation? The internet. Even though we got introduced it to them, it's like they took it and left. But we have to look at some of the things that we have to work on as parents, as leaders, to guide this new generation to something new. Just look at the government. We have to, you know, teach each other to govern this country. Because if you look at it, like, the government is starting to look like more younger folks than old folks. The new system is coming in. Just look at everything they're exposing. We gotta look at all that stuff. If you look at back in my generation, a lot of stuff wasn't exposed because we didn't have the internet. Now everybody exposing everybody. Instead of trying to encourage one another to move forward in life, to understand that, the dark will come into light. And I'm saying it in a good way and in a bad way. And that's what the enemy is trying to do, instead of just trying to help each other in a way. Because we did it to ourselves. We have to take accountability of our actions, and to help this generation because if you look at it, we in trouble. But I ain't gonna say everybody in trouble. The ones that's been, following Christ, we have to help each other, and help these people that's in the world back to Christ, because we don't know where the next generation gonna be. Because I don't know if God gonna be back before the next generation. And if you look at it, man, I've been trying to. I'm not gonna say anything about the school thing, because if you look at the school system these years, there's a lot of days off. They're taking days off more than it was when I was going to school. And I had to look at this thing, man, like, why they getting off of school so early? Why they taking off many days? But you gotta look at it like, this is not, they trying to be smart about what we went through in school. And I know that some people will say, man, they soft. Well, you gotta look at it, because the generation before them was complaining about how many days. I mean, it was snowing like that. We was steady going to school. If you look at it, and we was complaining about that. The generation before us probably was complaining about, all these days that we've been going to school, and some of us out the country, when it was winter, they used to walk to school with 10 foot of snow. And now, shoot, you see forecasts with the snow, they close schools right away. You gotta look at that, I'm not trying to do it no more. That's one thing I'm not doing, because if I come down here where I'm from, where I'm at, if you see white stuff in the forecast, they gonna shut down school. And I'm just thinking to myself now, like, right now, like, okay, I know where my son at. He's safe. And you gotta think about that too, man, because some people down here don't know how to drive, but you got to take in consideration to others. It's whatever it is, man. I don't. You could call me. I ain't soft, but hey, uh, it's just way it is right now, and I'm not compromising nothing. It's just the Lord just trying to show me like, uh, it's like they trying to be safer for the students. I mean, trying to throw them in 10 foot of snow and tell them to get to school instead of just waiting till the snow melt and then that I heard like I it's about safety for real, and God is trying to keep us safe, and we think that this generation gonna be going through the same situation we went through, but that's not the case. You gotta take in consideration to that we ain't in school no more. This is not our generation anymore. We have to uh, figure out what God is trying to show us with the new. And He's trying to tell you out with the old and with the new. And sometimes that new change can hurt people my age and older. Because we used to, to the old stuff. Used to the old TV shows and all that. But with the phones and everything, a lot of people still don't want to have a phone. They still doing a flip phone. They don't want to upgrade. They don't want. They look over and look at their other phone like, I want. Instead of trying to, upgrade and see what everybody else is doing, because I understand, because social media could be so harsh in a way, but you gotta, don't be on it all the time, and don't, because like I said, this social media thing is messing up all generations if you let it. We just gotta welcome the new generation in. We have to. That's basically what's hurting everybody, because we not welcome each other in, because everybody can learn from each other. Because I'm learning from my son, you should learn for your sons and daughters. And we don't have that. We just got this clashing of the titans going on, because this generation better than this generation. We did this, y'all ain't doing this, y'all doing this. Instead of just welcome each other in, we clashing. And that's what the enemy want. He laughing at us. He don't want us to do right. If you look at it right now, just look around. Everybody clashing each other. Mother and father against mother, father. I mean, father get father, mother gets mother. Sister gets sister. Instead of sharing the good news to them, we hindering folks, jealousy, and then just look at the children of Israel. Before they reach over the promised land, that the old generation had to die out because they weren't acting right. Instead of trying to help the new generation, the old generation had to die out, and the new generation cross over the river. They crossed over the river. The old had to stay, and that's what it's going on right now. You got to look at this situation, man. The world is growing, and the world is gonna do what they gonna do. But we have to, we have to welcome each other in, to help one another, cherish one another, embrace each other. Because Like right here, everything is meaningless. It goes. You saw so many deaths was going on. It's life and death. You know, we don't know when we gonna see them people next. We don't know when we gonna see them again. We have to get ourselves right because it's gonna be time for us to leave, and we gonna leave something out connected. Because if you leave right, what your child gonna do? What's gonna happen when everything's shut down? The internet shut down. What gonna happen? You gotta teach your kids what to do when everything's shut down. When the lights go out. This generation is hooked on technology. We did this when the lights went out. And that's what I'm trying to teach my son when everything shut down. What's gonna happen? You gotta teach that, you know what I'm saying? Because they don't know some of these people don't know. Some of these kids don't know what to do if something like this happens. You gotta introduce, like some of the people we was talking to. We gotta introduce them to the old phone. I got one in here. They probably, what is this? It's a phone that we was using back in the day, just in case something happened. Cause they could shut this thing off one day, and just like if you look at it, the phone outage was yesterday. Everybody was freaking out about a phone. But you think about it, it's a phone line on everybody here, 24/7. A phone line is always available. And I'm not talking about 911. I'm talking about Jesus Christ. And he been here forever. He been here before it happened. He knew the phone line was gonna go out. He was just trying to see if anybody gonna come to him. You know what I'm saying? That's what you gotta teach this new generation when things like that happen. To go to Christ. You know, he's not gonna change. He's gonna allow things like this to happen. And what you gonna do? What does that happen? A lot of people couldn't call each other, but they could get around. They knew where it's supposed to go, you know. But some of us, they relied on the phone so much they was lost. Some of them probably was lost. I ain't gonna say all, but most of them was lost because they didn't get to know their surroundings. And that's what the old generation is stuck in. The new generation is stuck in. They don't know their surroundings. Some of them don't know their surroundings. For me, I like to get lost to know where I'm at. So if I go in that environment, I know where I'm at. And that's what I was, you know, that was me in the back of the day. But just look at it right now, man. This generation is stuck in some type of way, and they need our guidance to enter in for whatever it is, you know. You want your babies when they get older enough to, you know, to rely on you, the Lord, you, and rely to when something downs like that, they know what to do instead of just, you know, freaking out. And that's what's going on. And we don't want to have these clashing of the titans about, you know, sports, about we did this back in the day, we did that. We need to, you know, nurture each other, you know, welcome each other in, you know, help each other out instead of just, you know, bashing each other. Because especially parenting, some of us got stripped away from that situation too. The world's stripping some of that stuff away from us, stripping our kids. You know, we can't do stuff to our kids, but the Bible say you could do that to our kids. But you gotta respect them too, respect one another. I ain't trying to tell them discipline to death, and that's what I was reading in Proverbs. You could discipline your job, but don't discipline till they die, you know. But some of us is doing it now, and we need to come together as one. I'm not saying to just compromise, just to, you know, hear each other out, you know, because some of these people from my child age and up, you know, high schoolers and whatever it is, they got a lot of knowledge. We just need to open up more to them, you know, for knowledge, because some of this stuff they know, because God put it inside of them before they got here. It just in their blood or something. I don't know what it is, but God been doing something for these kids. They different from what we used to be. So just enjoy whatever it is. I ain't saying to compromise. You don't have to compromise. It's just some knowledge that you need to bring to help them, to help us, to help everybody, you know, to come together as one. We don't want to be colliding to each other. You know, we want to encourage one another and guide them through the situation, because we love each other dearly. I know that we see a lot of killing and doing all this stuff that God, if you think about it, control all generations. So I gotta get up this thing, man. Signing off to you in Jesus' name. Shalom.